Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at AMD. I like to look at the 30-minute chart. I say often, y'all, it just tells a story that I like to read, right? So we closed at 161.79. Looks like we have bounced off of this area, 159. Y'all see I have this area here of 159.18. We've come down to this 159 and bounced from there, only to come back up to this very close area here of 162.32 and find some rejection. So where are the trouble places as of now? It seems like we're finding support at this 160.75, but as you can see, we've been at this place here, right? So 160.75. We need to break back above the 161.02, breaking beyond that 161.39, again at 161.61, 161.97, and should we break that, the high of this candle here is 162.26, but as you can see, I had that 162.32, so that is an area of resistance for AMD as of now. Breaking that, we could possibly find resistance around the 163.50, 162.53, and should we break that 162.72, those are possible areas of resistance for AMD today. Now back to the downside, if we should break under the 160.75, we could possibly find support 160.58, 160.39, 160.24, 160.07, breaking that level, 159.87. And should we break that level, possibly 159.64. Why? Because something held us up or stopped us in this area here. So around that 159.63. Now, should we break that, we could possibly come back to 159.52 and breaking that 159.18, and y'all see that ATR trailing stop. I like to see those. It's forming right there at the 159.08 area. So if AMD is something that you trade today, I said often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in, get out, right? So live to trade another day. So we are now looking at Meta, and Meta closed at 734.38. It seems like we tried to bounce. Y'all see right here at a level 724. Let's see what we have, 723.81. Very close, right? We kind of knew we could possibly have trouble. We bounced from there, but look where the body of that candle is now. 725.46 is our support as of now. Should we break that level back to the upside, 727.77, and should we break that 729.14, breaking that brings us back to 731.07, 732.33, 733.06. There's a few layers here, 733.62, 734.34, and breaking that brings us back to around 735.43. Should we break that, 736.22, 737.45, and 738.18. That's a lot of resistance back to the upside for Meta. However, breaking this area, 738.18, the next level I have marked is 740.07, 741.65, and 742.29, and that 200 EMA is right there at a level that we have at 743.15. So if you're trading Meta today, those are possible areas of resistance. Now let's see if we can find our support areas. Now back to the downside, if by chance we break back under, let's say, the 725.46 as of now, we could possibly again find support 724 or the 723.81, breaking that 722.93, 722.15, 720.76, 720, and then here at 718.63, breaking that 718.63, 717.79, and 717.04, breaking that level brings us back to 715.58. Keep in mind there's a few layers of resist or support down here, down to the 714.53. So if Meta is something that you trade, I said often, y'all, trade carefully, because in this market anything is possible, right? So we're now looking at NVDA, and we closed at 186.58. I'm going to mark this high because we No, okay. I'm going to go back and I'm going to mark this area here. Why? Because price was in this area and I need to remember that. Why? Because there's a strong possibility that we're going to come back to this area. Again, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in a trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places could be, right? So something stopped us in this zone here. NVDA traded here for a while. So as of now, I'm going to use that line as a resistance line. Breaking beyond that is where I need to go. Okay, so breaking the 185.60, we could possibly have trouble again somewhere around the 186.23 area here back to the upside. So breaking this 185.60, we could possibly have trouble again for NVIDIA 186.23 and breaking that level 186.85. Now should we break that, the next level is this high here of 187.35. So those are possible areas of resistance for NVIDIA. Now back to the downside, say for instance we lose the support here at this 200 EMA or the 50 EMA as of now 184.87. We just bounced from there. However, we could very well make a line here. Something stopped us in this area. We can either use the body or I'm using the body. So the body of this candle, body of this candle, and body of this candle. And as you can see, that's where this one is forming now. So as of now, that 185.16, breaking under that, 184.89, breaking under that level, 184.48, breaking that level, 184.07. These are areas of support. That is a strong area of support, in my opinion, that 184.07, the ATR trailing stop. We've bounced from here 1, 2, 3 times before, right? So breaking this level, you know, there's a few layers there, 183.74 and breaking that 183.44, 183.30 down here at 183.05 and breaking that level 182.56, 182.14, 181.89. Should we break that level 181.69 and breaking that 181.53, 181.28. Those are possible areas of support and resistance for NVIDIA as of now. As you can see, it looks like we're breaking under this area here. However, the candle has not closed, so we definitely need to be careful. But I said often, y'all, trade carefully. Make sure you mark your levels or make sure you have a reason for getting in the trade. And once it goes against your why or whatever that reason is, get out, right? So we are now looking at the SPY. We traded sideways on yesterday and then just had this nice move back to the upside from that 660. Let's see, the low of this candle, 661.81 to a high of 666.65. That's interesting, right? So we closed at 666.18 only to come back down to the 660.50. Look, y'all, we're right at the level that we had marked here. We've bounced from there back to the upside to this level here, 666.12, which the high of the candle is 666.18. Interesting, right? Only to come back to the downside. So where are the trouble places? Looks like we're finding support here at the 663.41. So back to the upside. Something stopped us in this area here. We had this area here. So definitely need to watch that 663.90 back to the upside, breaking that 664.12. And should we break that level, 664.55, breaking that 664.89. And should we break that area for the SPY today, 665.46 and breaking that, possibly have trouble again, 665.85 and here at 666.12, breaking that 666.30. And should we break that level for the SPY, 666.71 and here again at 666.96. Those are possible areas of resistance. Now there's a few layers of support here, 5 EMA, 50 EMA, 20 EMA, 200 EMA. All of this is together, right? Well, look, we were at this place on yesterday where it was a gathering spot or a consolidation area, right? So we're going to take that information from yesterday so that it can help us today. So breaking under this 662.77, we could very well come back to 662.40 and find support, breaking that level 662.03. And should we break that 661.75, breaking that brings us back to 661.38. And y'all see the ATR trailing stop is forming here at 661.20, breaking that, which is not far away from the 661.04. Should we break that level for the SPY today, 660.51. And there's a few layers of support here at that 660 area for the SPY. However, breaking that 660.50 down, we could possibly find support at 659.63. So if the SPY is something that you trade today, y'all, I said so often, trade carefully, make sure you have a reason, mark your levels, and once it goes against that, get out, right? So Tesla does what Tesla does. I say that often. We closed at 444.72, only coming off of this 433.12 low on yesterday to this 445 high. Pre-market low, I believe, was around the 437 low of this candle, 437.67. We bounced from there. However, we had some trouble here in this area here. So let's say that 443.78 could be a rejection area for us, right? So price was here, price was here. So definitely an area of resistance. So where the trouble places for Tesla as of now, 443.78. Should we break that? 444.35. Should we break that area? We can use this 445 area here. That stopped us out on yesterday, right? So breaking that, we could, the next level I have is 447.29. Breaking that 447.29. Keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in between this area here. Breaking that 447.29. The next level I have is 448.87. However, we could very well get stopped out there. And should we break that 448.87, 450.05 could be a rejection area for us. Breaking the 450.05 area, 452.08 could be a rejection area. Now let's look back to the downside. Under this level of 442.29, again, there's a few moving averages here and a level that I have around the 440.41. For some reason, that 440 area was interesting. We see that here, right? So breaking that 440.41, we could very well find support at 439.10. Breaking that, y'all see that 200 EMA is right there at a level that we have marked, 438.42. I like to see that, just supporting resistance, y'all. So breaking this level, we could very well come back to around the 436.19, breaking that 434.54. Should we break that level for the SPY today, 433.19, and breaking that 432.22. Should we break that 429.99? Those are possible areas of support for this Tesla today. Now breaking that 429.99, that 428.60 wasn't, in my opinion, a strong area of support for Tesla. So breaking that will be, we've broken through a very strong area, in my opinion, again, a layer of support. However, there's a few layers from there, right? 428.60 down here at 427.26, again, 426.43, 425.70. I said often I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are, right? So this is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. There's so many different ways to trade, and again, what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you and for you to have the discipline to execute your plan, right? Trade what you know. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable day, a very, very productive day today. If you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.